in the root nodules of legume plants. Legume plants means the plant which produce pulses. For example, the gram and pea and lentils. These are the legume plants which actually provide us protein. So these rhizobium bacteria lives in the root nodule of legume plants, and these bacteria convert the atmospheric nitrogen. It takes the nitrogen from the atmosphere and convert it into nitrates and nitrites, and these nitrates and nitrites can be taken by the plants with its root. Actually, these nitrates and nitrites are soluble in water. So these nitrates and nitrites dissolve in water and sucked up in the plant body with the water. When the plant sucks the water, through the water, these dissolved nitrate and nitrites are taken up into the body of the plant. So for the preparation of, and these nitrogenous compounds are used for the preparation of protein in the body of the plant. And when the animals eat these plant body parts of the plant, then they get the protein directly. So plants make also fats, and certain plants convert the carbohydrate form in the process of photosynthesis in other forms like oils and fat. Certain plants, when these the carbohydrate which they form in the process of photosynthesis, the plant form the carbohydrate in the process of photosynthesis. But when these carbohydrates are not used by them, so this then these carbohydrates are converted into oils and fat. For example, in the plant of mustard, sunflower, these carbohydrates are converted into oil and fat. And when the animals like human beings take this seed of sunflower and mustard, they get the oil and fat. Similarly, vitamins actually these are the very vital for animals, because these vitamins just as I already discussed, that these vitamins actually enhance our immunity and helps us to fight with the disease. These vitamins are made up of minerals, and when the water goes up into the plant body through its roots, the dissolved minerals which is dissolved minerals in the soil also get up with the water in the plant body. And these vitamins are very useful for our body, because it fight with the disease and enhance our immunity. Example, fruits and vegetables. When you take fruit and vegetable, you get these vitamins. So actually by eating fruit and vegetable, we get various types of minerals and vitamins. We also get the carbohydrate and fat, but in lesser amount. In larger amount we get vitamins and minerals. Similarly, in this chapter we have to discuss about the various forms of nutrition, various mode of nutrition in plant. Just as I discussed in the previous lectures, that there are two mode of nutrition in plants and animals both. That is, mode of nutrition is divided into two forms. That is heterotrophic mode of nutrition and autotrophic. So autotrophic I have already discussed, and the next is heterotrophic mode of nutrition in plants. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition in plants. So what are the various forms of heterotrophic mode of nutrition? That is parasitic. The second is saprophytic, and the third is symbiotic, and the fourth is insectivorous. So first of all, I will discuss about parasitic mode of nutrition. It is the mode of nutrition in which the plant does not make its food in their own body, and it lives on the body of another plant and get their nutrients from the host plant. The parasitic plants are those plants. The parasitic mode of nutrition is the nutrition in which the plant cannot make its own food. It does not have any chlorophyll. It lives on the body of another plant and gets its nutrition from that, its food from that plant. So, and in return it harms the other in the host plant. So, parasitic mode of nutrition. And saprophytic mode of nutrition is the mode of nutrition in which the plant gets the nutrients from dead and decaying organic matter. Symbiotic mode of nutrition is the mode of nutrition in which the two plants or two organisms, two different organisms live together and help each other in obtaining nutrition. So I will write one by one. Parasitic mode of nutrition. So the mode of nutrition in which plant or animal lives on the body of other plant or animal called host. So write it down. The mode of nutrition in which a plant or animal lives on the body of another plant or animal called host. And obtain its food from host body. For example, cascata, or it is also called amarbel. You can see in the picture amarbel. This is a type of plant which is yellow in color, having no chlorophyll, and it is a type of plant. It is a parasitic plant, and it acquires food through a special structure called haustoria. This haustoria is the structure which help the cascata plant to absorb the ready-made food from the host body. Host body means the plant on which this cascata is surviving. That is a host body, and this cascata is a parasitic plant. Similarly, so you can see in the picture, I have given the picture on the board. You can see in the picture which type of plant is called cascata. Similarly, some plants are this is fully parasitic, means it does not have any chlorophyll and it is totally dependent on the host body for its ready-made food. But some plants are partially parasitic. For example, they contain chlorophyll, they can make their own food, and they obtain some part of its food from the host body as well. They make their food also, and they obtain their some part of food from the host body as well. The examples are examples of partial parasitic plants are mist newt. It has its own chlorophyll, but it is dependent on the host body for water and mineral. It makes their food by the photosynthesis, but it does not it does not have their roots penetrated into soil, so this plant is dependent on the earth for waters and minerals. So through which structure these parasitic plant get their ready-made food? Through a structure called haustoria. And this haustoria, is through this structure they get